here at Tom Nick Stadium, home of the Christian Brothers Purple Wave, where we bring you an exciting rivalry soccer match between your Christian Brothers Purple Wave and the Owls of Memphis University School. My name is James Crone alongside Jonah Jordan. Jonah, how are you doing this fine evening?
Fantastic, James.
Me too, and it's a great day for soccer, about 70-something degrees, sunny, great day out on the pitch.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little rainy earlier. Now we got lucky with the weather. It's a beautiful day here at Christian Brothers High School.
It really is, and it's great, especially when your soccer team is playing this well. For those of you who don't know, the soccer team has not lost this entire season. They are 11-0. They have tied 3 times. So a very, very strong soccer team. John, what do you expect to see out of our players tonight?
Great defense, and just we need to stop MUS. Last game we tied with them, 1-1. We could have won that game if it hadn't been for a late goal by MUS. So we just need to be consistent in our defense and play a whole game of solid team defense.
I completely agree. The leading defenders are Nicholas Petrangelo and Nick Matthews at goal, and both of them have really stepped up this season as juniors. Nick at first wasn't the starting goalie. That was the first Miles Mason, and now Nick has replaced him. So it's been great goalie battles, and that's a nice problem to have when you have 2 really good goalies out there for Christian Brothers.
Absolutely. It's a great problem to have when you have too many good players on the team. You can't decide who to play.
That's right. And over on the MUS side, they have a lot of really strong players, too. One eye-opener over there is Norse Fox, who is going to the Naval Academy on a basketball scholarship. He's a very athletic player. He's also a safety on their football team, so you know he's going to be out there charging hard.
Yeah, we watched North Fox a little bit in the basketball season. He was awesome playing basketball. So I guess he can be great in this too. It's gonna be weird watching him play another sport besides basketball, though.
They call him the Red Rocket over at MUS because of his bright red hair. And the head coach for Christian Brothers High School is Rogério Lima, originally from Brazil, and it's always really entertaining to watch him over on the sidelines, as he's very adamant over on the sidelines whenever anything's going on.
Coach Lima is awesome. You gotta love Coach Lima. I had him for ethics. He's hilarious. He's very, very animated person. Very excited individual. He's a great, great, great soccer coach. He's led us to a couple of state championships in his time here. He's really good. That's all I have to say about Coach Lima today.
Coach Lima is just a fantastic coach, and like you said about the state championships, right now CBHS is really in the running for a strong state playoff race, because if they win tonight against MUS, then they are the number 1 seed in the state playoff rankings. And if MUS wins, then MUS becomes the number 1 seed in the state playoff chase. So it's a very, very difficult, very, very big match for Christian Brothers and for MUS here to get good seeding in the brackets. Another thing really to talk about is how deep this Christian Brothers team goes when you're talking about the forwards. You've got Kenneth Cocker, who is a Memphis soccer signee over in the front, who is a very strong player. He's a little lanky and lean, but he makes up for it with great quickness and great soccer skill. Coach Lima has described him as a straight-up, solid skill player, not going to overwhelm you with athleticism, but will be able to keep up with anybody technically and any other type of way you can possibly describe, just great form. And then another person that they have really strong on the forward spot is Barrett Mills, who's a junior. Barrett Mills is a little bit shorter, but a lot stronger than Kenneth Cocker, and Barrett Mills is also faster. So with the 2 of them running in the front, Jonah, what do you expect CBHS to do when they're attacking on the offensive side?
When you're playing against fast players, you just gotta stay in front of them. You can't let them get past you, or you can't catch up to them, and it's all over after that.
And earlier today, before this game started, the JV team took the pitch and won the game 2-1 against MUS. So CBH has already started off strong. What did you like about that game, Jonah?
Just an all-around great performance, great defense, great offense. We did see a player get hurt. I hope he's all right. Couldn't quite see who it was.
I believe it was Spencer Stiers, a sophomore.
We really hope he's okay. Hope we can bounce back for the next game. Just a great performance by the JV. JV's been great all year, too. I think they've got a few players that can really contribute next year to the senior squad or the varsity squad.
And it seems like we're about to get underway here in the soccer pitch. We'll take a very short break. We'll be right back here before the first kick. My name is James Crone. He's General Jordan. Listen to Chris Brothers Sports Network. We are now back here live at Christian Brothers High School where the first kick will now start to happen. Jonah, I learned that that MUS is led by two freshmen, Jonathan Swift and Jack Scahan, who are both extremely fast. And here we go. So that'll be interesting to see if they can be able to either blow by or if our players can keep up with them.
Yeah, freshman-led teams are going to be. It's going to be interesting watching them being led by two freshmen. Hopefully, our veteran players on the team can maybe take advantage of their inexperience. And well, having two freshmen tells me that they're going to be good for a couple years after this, and that they've got a really bright future over there at MUS.
That's right. And right off the bat, CBHS is attacking as Barrett Mills is in there with a scrum to try to get the ball out, but it is a little penalty push-off foul. So now it'll be MUS ball as MUS controls it. That is Michael Jacobs dribbling upfield, guarded by Greg Dyer, and it is a shot, and it is saved by goalie Nick Matthews. We talked about Nick earlier in the broadcast, how he has been battling for that starting position all year long. He's finally got it. He's been using most of it as Greg Dyer's pass is stolen, but now is gotten back by Nick Petrangelo. He's up to Barrett Mills, who now gives it back to Greg Dyer. Greg Dyer says him going out of bounds. Controlling it, now he gets it off to Nick DePietro, a freshman, who now gives it up to Alex Fuentes, who passes it over to Greg Dyer, and now it's down fast, but it's going down the wire, and it will be CBHS ball.
Does a great job getting the ball downfield quickly, and hopefully next time we can make something of it, maybe get into the box into a good scoring position to Greg Dyer or Cifuentes.
Yeah, they've both been playing pretty well so far to start this game, both attacking really well, and I mean it's really great to see such a great start. As there's the throw in.
They seem to be battling for it in the corner.
And there's Hayden Whitley getting it, and that was a pass out, but that is deflected by an MUS defender. That was Daniel Camuti on the stop for MUS. The MUS goalkeeper now gives it up to Michael Jacobs as he will bring it up.
MUS is wanting to slow it. It seems like they want to slow it down a little bit, work the ball around while we're trying to just attack.
Norris Fox giving the ball up to David Montgomery. As now he will give the ball up to Michael Baker, who has his pass stolen by Nick Petrangelo, but now Michael Jacobs now picks it back up. He gives it up to Dobson Donovan, but that is now deflected off by Evan Kurtelmeyer as Nick Petrangelo has it and gives it back up to Sebastian Polonia. That's stolen now by Daniel Camuti. Already great defense being showed by both teams. Dobson Donovan trying to make something happen. He will pass it out to no one, and that's deflected by Andrew McKeever, a junior. Sebastian Polonia battling with Norris Fox. And there's a whistle, and it will be MUS ball.
Get a little free kick here. Sebastian Polonia is already making his impact on the game, going after the ball, staying in front of it, and never giving up, which is great to see.
Really is, as Michael Jacobs now will pass it out to Marshall Clark. Clark has it, and he's guarded by Cifuentes, and he kicks it upfield. And now Gregory Dyer has it. But is now back controlled by Michael Jacobs. Great ball movement being shown by MUS here. Barrett Mills steals it, but it is pass stolen, and Barrett is on the ground. As Kenneth Cocker making a run, but the play has been stopped because there is a player down on the field, and that is Barrett Mills for Christian Brothers, and that is not a good sign.
Hopefully he just has cramps or, just cramps. I'm sure he'll be right back up into the game.
When Michael Jacobs attempted to steal the ball from Barrett Mills as soon as Mills fell down. So I assume he was probably kicked maybe above the shin guard, and I can only imagine that is not very fun to get kicked above the shin guard by a varsity soccer player.
It's not enjoyable. Over there on the baseball field, we have the CBHS versus MUS regional playoff game about to start. We will be bringing you score updates to that as much as we can, and it should be an exciting matchup over there. We beat MUS 11-2 last time we played them.
MUS very strong baseball team. They're led by Andrew Plunkett, who is going to the University of Tennessee next year for baseball. While Christian Brothers has a bunch of players also going to Division I colleges for baseball, so that'll be a very good regional playoff match between the two. As Nick Matthews gets the ball up to DePietro, who gives it now to Petrangelo. Petrangelo up now to the newest player who has just come in for Christian Brothers because Barrett Mills has had to been escorted off the field because of injury. Now kick up field.
Seem to be slowing down a little bit more now after attacking in the first few minutes.
Barrett Mills getting injured early is not good for the Brothers whatsoever because he's definitely their second best forward.
I just expect more people to step up, like Dyer and Cifuentes and Polonia.
Now it's upfield. Gives it up to Cifuentes, who now gives it back to Petrangelo. Petrangelo gives it up to Dyer. Dyer tries to pass it to someone, but it is off the foot of Bobby Scott for MUS. It is now controlled by MUS. But there's Whitley now controlling it as he gives it up to Polonia, who's to Dyer. And there's Petrangelo kicking it upfield, and we've got a break going. Sebastian Maines controlling it. No, excuse me, that is Alex Fuentes controlling it. As he now gets it back down in the box. And that is kicked back out by Norris Fox for MUS. Petrangelo now has it. Tries to give it up, and it's been met by a bunch of MUS defenders. As MUS trying to control it, and MUS kicks it downfield.
Does a nice clear by MUS to get it out of the CBHS zone and it back and make them set up the offense again.
And Nate Matthews with a good catch and save. So that way he can definitely protect the goal as CBHS controls it. Petrangelo gives it up. CBHS trying really hard to get off the line, try to keep ball in play. And the ball is out, and it will be Christian Brothers ball still. There's Jacobs now coming up front and is met by a bunch of Christian Brothers players. Then Calker got the ball out. Now CBHS controls the ball. CBHS still battling down there. Petrangelo trying to get in there, and MUS still controls it. That's Michael Baker for MUS. As Petrangelo now brings it out for Christian Brothers. Petrangelo running downfield, and he gives it up, but it went out of bounds, and it will be MUS ball.
Got a little too close to the sideline there, trying to force a pass down and onto the offensive end of the field.
And now we're being controlled by Christian Brothers. As Calker now has it. He'll give it up to Polonia, who gives it back up to Calker. DiPietro gives it up to Jake Barrett. And it's out of bounds, but it will still be Christian Brothers ball. Peter Kinsella is the throw-in for Christian Brothers. He gives up to Jake Barrett. Gives it up to DiPietro. He gives it to Fuentes. Polonia, excuse me. MUS controls it. Working on Whitley. There's a shot on goal, but that is long.
Oh.
Great defense by Christian Brothers just then to stop a goal from happening. That was led mainly by Kenneth Calker.
We thought that ball would be out of bounds, but they just barely got it back over the goal and almost in. It's a great defense there to prevent the goal.
That shot on goal was by Daniel Camuti for Christian Brothers. And then on the cross attempt for goal was Jack Skahan for MUS. So two shots blown by MUS early. So great defense being showed so far by Christian Brothers as Nick Matthews will now kick ball out downfield. MUS controls it, but now Petrangelo heads it. Greg Dyer now gets it as there's Whitley, but he fumbles a little bit. And now Jacobs has it, who now gives it up to Camuti. Community passes it downfield to Dobson Donovan, who then gives it up to Forrest Field, who shoots, but it's just long. Donovan now has it, and now Nick Matthews controls it.
Our defense is doing a great job of keeping them out of the middle of the field and having to make shots from bad angles.
Matthews with the punt, gets downfield, and MUS has it. Michael Baker has it for MUS, but now that it's kicked out of bounds. It'll be Christian Brothers ball. Barrett gives the ball up to DiPietro as Whitley tries to get in there. And is now out to Barrett, but there is a penalty, and it'll now be MUS ball.
Being a little too aggressive on defense, trying to go after the ball. Just collided with an MUS player.
And that's a penalty you're okay with if your head coach Rogerio Lima, if your players are hustling enough out there. Now the ball is kicked downfield to Baker, but is now stolen by Cocker. And now MUS controls it. And then Fuentes now gets it back out to DiPietro. As there's another penalty where getting a little physical, and it will still be Christian Brothers ball.
Both teams are very physical, going after the ball, just being very physical, colliding with each other, not being afraid of contact.
Good kick downfield, but it was intercepted by MUS as the ball is now free, but now Polonia has it, and Petrangelo is called for a push, so now it will be MUS ball. Norris Fox has it for MUS, and he gives it up for Jacobs. Jacobs now downfield. Shot on goal is over the goal's head and over the goal post. So it will now be Christian Brothers ball.
And again, the Brothers defense is doing a great job of forcing them off to the sidelines, not getting a good angle at the goal, making them make tough shots and bad decisions.
Nick Matthews now has it. He'll be walking up to get ready to kick it downfield. Nick Matthews playing well so far to start this game. He's had a few stops already for CBHS, and he's been able to protect the goal very nicely. And having good kicks downfield as Petrangelo has it. Petrangelo tries to get up to Polonia, but is stolen by Camuti. Now it's run downfield as Michael Swift has it for MUS. And it goes out of bounds. I believe it will still be MUS ball. It appears it'll be a corner kick, Jonah. So it'll be good to see Christian Brothers how they can defend it well enough.
You just got to be aware. Don't let anybody slip through the cracks and get wide open for a header.
Corner kick for MUS is Forrest Field. As that is stopped by Christian Brothers. Now Peter Kinsella on the stop, and now that is open. There's a whistle, and it was called for offsides on MUS. That was number 4, Jake Skayen, offsides. So now it'll be Christian Brothers ball. Nate Matthews will take the free kick. Good kick downfield, and now that'll be up by Barrett. But that is headed by Michael Baker for MUS. And now that is brought back out by MUS. And now Nick Matthews has it, and he gives it up to Kenneth Cocker. Cocker gives it up to Petrangelo. Petrangelo now to Whitley, but Petrangelo now gets it back. There's another penalty called on MUS, so it'll still be Christian Brothers ball as Cocker will control it.
Cocker is going to the University of Memphis to play soccer.
He's joining his former teammate Chris Gardia over at the University of Memphis. So Christian Brothers is very well represented at the university for soccer, which is always nice. Petrangelo shoots it, and he scores! Goal for Nicholas Petrangelo. He puts the Brothers on the board at the 24th minute. It's now 1-0. Christian Brothers leads. What a great goal by Nicholas Petrangelo.
Wow.
Let's give him a shout out. He has a study hall during our broadcasting period, so he's basically part of our class.
He is.
So
Honorary member.
It's nice to see him score. It's nice to see him score a goal in this game. That was a really great goal. As Swift has it for MUS, but now it is broken up.
Oh.
Camuti gives it up for MUS. As Dyer tries to attack, and there for MUS is Skayen. There's a foul on Dyer, so now it will be MUS ball, and there'll be a free kick. What a great shot by Nick Petrangelo.
I thought he was passing it, so I kind of looked away for a second, and I saw it going towards the goal. It was a fantastic shot.
I mean, when you're back in midfield and on defense, you don't really get a chance for those that as much, but he took advantage of it with a great shot as that ball was kicked away. And that will be MUS ball. It will be now a goalie kick.
Man, that was pretty cool.
That was impressive.
That
It
was
was around the top right corner. Just great shot by Petrangelo.
That was a laser. Nobody, goalie didn't even see it coming.
A goal kick will be attempted by Nick Matthews. And that ball was headed off the head of David Montgomery for MUS, but it still goes out of bounds, so it'll now be Christian Brothers ball. Kinsella throws it in to Fuentes. He's up to Barrett, but it apparently was out. He was out of bounds, so it will now be MUS ball. Montgomery on the throw-in is up to Baker. And then they're on the out. And that ball is out of bounds. It'll still be Christian Brothers' ball. So throws it in to DiPietro. So he'll now give it up to Polonia, who now gives it to Cocker. Cocker's up to Whitley. He's at downfield trying to get to Dyer, but it just went past him. Ball controlled by Bobby Scott for MUS. Now Whitley with a nice header. But now Michael Jacobs has it for MUS. Gives it up to Jack Skayen. Skayen, a freshman, one of the freshmen that's leading this team. So he now gives it back up to Scott. Good stop by Polonia. As Dyer gives it up to Barrett. Gives it back to Polonia. He's up to DiPietro. That's Fuentes. Fuentes loses it a little bit. Now Polonia. Nice shot, and there's Jacobs, who heads it back over to the MUS goalie. We'll now throw it back into Jacobs. Good defensive stand there by MUS.
Yep. Instead of trying to take it back out himself, the defender just hit it right back to the goalie to stop the offensive stand by the Brothers.
Whitley with a nice little move there. Trying to have a crossover to Barrett, but it was just over his head. Ball is now up in the air, and it'll be headed by Greg Dyer, but that ball will go out of bounds, and it will be MUS ball.
Brothers are still playing fantastic defense out there.
They really are. They're playing solid defense as we just go underneath the 20th minute.
They're neutralizing the speed of MUS's best players and just forcing them to make bad decisions and turning the ball over.
Scott gives it up, and now Fox has it for MUS. Fox bringing the ball up. So that'll be challenged by Polonia, but now it's downfield to Baker. Baker being fighting up against Andrew McKeever. McKeever brings it out for Christian Brothers, who now gives it up to Polonia. Polonia taking it out, and he has it back. The back up to Petrangelo, who recently scored. Greg Dyer now has it. Gives it up to Jake Barrett. Barrett trying to get it over to DiPietro, but he cannot quite. As Polonia now has it up, but now it is kicked out by Michael Jacobs. Jonathan Swift tries to take it, but good header there by Kenneth Calker, who gives it out to Whitley. Whitley with a deep pass. As Barrett will now try to run it down, but it appears that Bobby Scott will take it for MUS. He gives it to Fox. Fox going forward for MUS as he now gives it up to Baker. Baker back to Camuti. Camuti trying to make something happen, but Petrangelo knocks it out. Petrangelo doing everything on this field for Christian Brothers.
Yep, he's been the player of the game so far, playing great defense, just stopping the ball whenever he can, and with that fantastic scored goal.
Fox gets up to Scott, who now kicks it back up to Jacobs. Jacobs going, it's Greg Dyer, but now he gives it back to Fox. Stolen there by DiPietro. Polania. He's up to Barrett. Barrett tries to get it back to Polania. It's the race between Polania and Fox. Polania has it. Polania is trying to make something happen. He kicks it a little bit back. He gives it back up to Dyer. Dyer gives it to DiPietro. DiPietro with the shot, and it's just wide right. Good shot by DiPietro. Just couldn't quite cash in.
It was a great chance. The brothers got who they wanted to get it to and just couldn't capitalize on it.
It was a good look, and now it'll be a goalie kick for MUS. He kicks it out, and it's low, and it goes to the left side. As Scan controls it, as now Fuentes takes it, gives it to Petrangelo. Petrangelo gets the ball stolen by Camuti, who now controls it again. Tries to get to Swift, but good shot, good stop there by Kenneth Calker. Now the ball is out of bounds, and it will be Christian Brothers' ball. Good, nice header there by Kenneth Calker to get the ball out there and make sure MUS couldn't capitalize on a 2-on-1 advantage. Whitley on the throw-in, throws up to Barrett, but it is stolen by Jacobs. Fox has it. Fox trying to make something happen, gives it up to Camuti. Camuti going up against a few MUS Christian Brothers players. He gets to Swift. Swift tries to get it up to Scan, but he's intercepted by Kenneth Calker. Calker going up, gives it up to DiPietro. DiPietro jumps over a guy, and now Kenneth Calker has it. Calker going hard, and he's outrunning these MUS players. He's trying to get up to Barrett. He shoots it.
Oh.
But it went off the fingertips of the MUS goalie. A great stop there by the goalie for MUS.
That was a great.
The stop on that play was by Haynes Westlake for MUS. Great stop by.
That was a great save.
As there will now be a quarter kick for Christian Brothers.
I think I'd be going to our two tallest players here, maybe Calker or Petrangelo.
Calker last year had a really, really good shot against MUS to win the game for us. See if maybe, and it was off a corner kick, so let's see if this maybe can happen right now. So Fuentes backs up. So Fuentes kicks it out. It's low, and it's good defense there by MUS. As right now Whitley has it. Kicked out of bounds, and Greg Dyer was hustling it down, but it'll still be Christian Brothers' ball. Good defensive stand there by MUS. Make sure that Christian Brothers couldn't capitalize on a corner kick.
The kick was a little outside, but I could see what they were doing. They were trying to get it back a little so they could set up the offense a little bit more.
Willie throws it in, and it's high. That's intercepted by Scott, and then Petrangelo has it. Right down low, and then now eventually Forrester kicks it out. CBHS controls it again. Fuentes gives it up to DiPietro. Give it up to Whitley. Whitley now downfield, tries to get it over to Kinsella, who now gives it back out. And there's a penalty, and it will be MUS ball.
I think we've had a few too many penalties on the offensive end, being a little aggressive, a little too aggressive. Kicking could fix that at halftime. Maybe help the offensive flow a little bit.
I completely agree. As Baker has it for MUS. Baker kicks it down the line. And Kinsella now has it, who kicks it deep. And there is now a call, and it will be MUS ball. Great game so far being showed by both teams. Both playing really well in D. Christian Brothers up 1-0 with 13 minutes to go in this first half. Jenna, what are you liking so far?
Nicholas Petrangelo, he's played awesome. Been great on defense, and he had that one goal. And just an overall great effort from the brothers so far, playing great defense. Had a few too many turnovers on offense, but I don't think that's normal of them. Just playing great so far.
Hopefully we'll be able to keep it up during this game. As MUS controls it, gives up to Kamudi. Moody now back over to Fox. Fox tries to get to Swift, but he can't quite. Now Kamudi has it. There's a shot, but it is out of bounds. That'll be a goalie kick. Christian Brothers will retain possession, and it'll be goalie kick for Nick Matthews. MUS hasn't been able to get very many shots on goal this game, which is another great thing that CBHS has been able to do. You can't really score goals if you can't shoot at it. So that's the best thing to do if you're Christian Brothers is make sure MUS can't get close over there.
Yep, just force them. They're forcing their faster players out of bounds and trying to force hard crosses or bad shots that eventually will go out of bounds.
Kalk with a free kick. It's deep. Trying to get to DiPietro, but it is off head of Michael Baker. Now DiPietro has it again. Fuentes trying to get it now. A good slide to get the ball out of bounds by MUS. That was Baker. And it will now be a corner kick for Christian Brothers. Excuse me, it'll just be a throw in. Fuentes throwing it in for Christian Brothers. He's up to Petrangelo. Petrangelo gives it back to Polania, who gets the ball kicked out from him, and now Fuentes has it. Fuentes shoots on goal. And it is just wide left.
That was almost it. That was a great shot.
Great look there. Great job by Christian Brothers to be able to make sure that we can have a shot on goal, and if Fuentes, I know Fuentes wants to have that one back because he just missed it a little to the left.
Goalie wouldn't have been able to get to that one either. That was placed perfectly in that left corner. Just had a little bit too much power on it. It was another nice try, though.
MUS controls it. Baker kicks it right to Fuentes, but MUS has it again as Fox now tries to make something happen. He gives up to Swift. Swift gives it back up to Baker. Baker high gives it up to Skayen. But Greg Dyer now steals it for Christian Brothers. Petrangelo gets in there and falls down. Greg Dyer has it. Dyer trying to keep it in play, and he he almost did. Little wait whistle, but it is now MUS ball. As now Kamudi will be throwing it in for MUS. And they now want Swift to throw it in. No, Fox now throw it in. Fox throws it downfield, tries to header, but it can't quite make it happen as Polania kicks it back out.
That was a great pass there by Fox.
It just went out of bounds for MUS, so now it'll be a goalie kick. Matthews so far has been able to get the ball well downfield. And he'll do that again right now as it will now be deep. And Kamudi kicks it for MUS. Skayen gets it back out to Clark, who Clark is now controlling it, and Community now gets it back from him. Greg Dyer has it, but gives it back to Kenneth Cocker. Cocker gives it to Whitley. Now Polania kicks it up to Barrett, who has it stolen from him by Bobby Scott. Now Nick Petrangelo has it. He is slide tackled by Scott, and it will now be Christian Brothers' ball, as Scott has now kicked it back behind him. Now McKeever will kick the ball out for Christian Brothers. McKeever kicks it downfield. So it's up by Clark. Look at Fox. Fox trying to make something happen, but now it's stolen by Cocker. Cocker controlling it.
It's a nice little shimmy move there by Cocker.
Fantastic.
Get rid of his defender.
Cocker kicks it way downfield for Fuentes. It's over the MUS player's head. That was David Montgomery, but it is out of bounds. It will be Christian Brothers' ball. Alex Fuentes to attempt to throw in. So he tries to get up to DiPietro, but is intercepted by Scan. Scan has a little fumble, and it gets it back out to Fuentes. You know, it's Nick Petrangelo. Petrangelo tried another shot, but that one was deflected, and it will still be Christian Brothers' ball.
Guess that was a little bit of a kind of a heat check there. More difficult shot than the last one.
Excuse me, it was not deflected. It will be now MUS ball. Sorry, I thought I saw the ball become deflected. So now there will be a throw-in by a goalie kick for Hayes Westlake for MUS. Good kick for Westlake as Petrangelo heads it. Scan gives it up. Trying to get it to Michael Swift. Then gives it back to Scan. Freshmen working together as there's Kinsella with a nice little header. Swift now controls it again. Tries to give it up to Clark, who kicks it, but it was deflected by Whitley, and it is out of bounds to MUS. Scan has it, who kicks it back to Clark. Clark tries to shoot.
Oh.
Clark try to cross to Will Kalen, but it was the header was just over the net, and it will be Christian Brothers' ball and a goal kick coming for Nick Matthews.
That was some great movement there by the Owls, but just couldn't capitalize on it. Just had a little too much power on that header there, and it just went right over the goal.
That's right. I'm sure MUS would like to have that one back. It was a great shot. Sometimes this can't happen. And now Nick Matthews will attempt the goalie kick. Kicks it deep, and he gets it out to Barrett. It was just over Barrett's head, and that was headed out by Scott for MUS. As Kinsella will now throw it in. He throws it down low to Fuentes, but that was hit out by Montgomery. Now Kinsella will walk over to get the ball to attempt the next throw in. Jonah, so far great defense shown as we go underneath the 6th minute here at Christian Brothers.
Yep, just fantastic defense. That was our key to the game that we came up with to keep the Owls under control and win this game. And I think we're on pace to win right now. Well, we are on pace to win right now, and I think if we keep it up for the rest of the second half, we will.
And DiPietro now runs down one, and he gets it over Swift. McKeever gets it out in front, but that was intercepted there by Marshall Clark, as there's now a scrap for the ball, and now McKeever has it again. McKeever gives it out to Petrangelo. Petrangelo scored earlier in this game. In case you are just now tuning in, he is the reason we are up 1-0. And Clark tries to run it down, but he can't quite. And it will now be just basketball. Excuse me, soccer.
Yeah, we're playing soccer, James.
Excuse me. It was just a slip of the tongue. It will still be MUS ball.
Speaking of basketball, you gonna watch the Grizzlies tonight?
Of course.
And everybody needs to know that the Grizzlies play tonight at 8:30. Just need as many people watching as possible, as much fan support here in Memphis for the Grizzlies. What do you think's going to happen, James?
Hopefully the Grizzlies can pull it out, but the first thing comes first. Hopefully the brothers can pull this one out here as Nick Matthews
that
skies
was a
for
great
the
save.
That shot was attempted by David Montgomery for MUS, but Nick Matthews climbed the ladder there to try to get the ball back, and even though he's slow to get up, great save there by Nick Matthews. That was a fantastic save.
He just really went after that one.
High punt, now gives it up to Clark. Clark gives it all the way down there, but by McKeever, the gigantic bump, no call. As Petrangelo now takes the ball away from him, and McKeever gave Dobson Donovan, the person who bumped him, a little bump back, and now there's another scrum for it. That's what happens when you're playing your rival here in your district. Shot on goal, and it scores.
I think
that's goal for MUS was Will Kylan, a senior for MUS.
I think he just couldn't get to that one. I think he hurt his ankle on that great save. Just couldn't quite move fast quick enough to get it. It was a great shot by MUS.
Will Collin with a great shot. Now it's tied up with just under the third minute. And I get it back up to Kinsella. Kinsella tries to get to Barrett. It is a high ball, and it will now be out of bounds. It will be Christian Brothers' ball that goes in the stands. Great goal there by Kylan. I mean, he placed it just right over Nick Matthews' head, and he knew that Matthews was a little slow getting up because of how hard he went down on his ankle. So good shot there by Kylan.
Yep, the refs really they were calling it very close in the first couple minutes of this game. First probably about 14, 15 minutes. Now they've really let the two teams play, made it a much more physical game.
I mean, when you say MUS and CBHS, it's gonna be very physical out there, no matter what.
Friction between the two.
As MUS now controls it, Baker tries to kick it out, but now Kinsella has it for Christian Brothers. Kinsella kicks it downfield, trying to get to Dyer, and the MUS defender and goalie collide, but the ball is still safe. It will still remain Christian Brothers' ball, and it will not be a corner kick. Great hustle being showed by MUS there.
It's a great save, and the defender just took out the goalie there going for that ball.
Good thing one of them got it if you're MUS, because if one of them doesn't get it, then that's an easy goal.
I think we had Greg Dyer right on the other side of the goal waiting for the cross.
Speaking of Greg Dyer, he will attempt the corner kick for Christian Brothers. CHS sets up their play that they will run to try to get a nice goal off this corner kick with 2 minutes to go in this first half. Dyer kicks out, tries to get to Petrangelo. Petrangelo has it, but it's kicked now back by Bobby Scott. Scott limping as he comes up. Hope he's okay. As Dyer will now try to attempt another corner kick for Christian Brothers. Dyer kicks it downfield, and it's up, and it's trying to be head in by Polonia, but it is now kicked out. Whitley kicks it forward, but it is just off the foot of Camuti as Swift takes it downfield, tries to get it to Kalen, who scored earlier, but now Nick Matthews will control it. He kicks it deep and far, but it is out of bounds, and it will remain it will now be MUS ball. And there's now apparently it has been called a push off by Swift for MUS. So now Christian Brothers will now get possession back as McKeever will kick it downfield for Christian Brothers. McKeever kicks it deep and far. Polonia just over his head as Petrangelo controls it. Petrangelo has been the star this first half so far as he kicks it downfield, tries to get to Barrett, but is just short as Barrett tries to defend it, but is kicked out by Jacobs. Kinsella steals it from the MUS player, but there's a whistle, and an MUS player is down.
It's more injuries I've seen in one game than we had all year in football.
Yeah, it really any
basketball.
sport.
It's a very physical game so far. We hope he's okay, and they stop the game here before the trainers come out.
So I believe that this will start halftime. We'll come back to you live here with first half analysis and lots of other stuff. Make sure you stay tuned. My name is James Kern. He's Jenna Jordan. You stay tuned. You're listening to Chris Brothers Sports Network.
And we're back here at Christian Brothers High School. Me, Jonah Jordan, and James Crone. The brothers and MUS Owls are tied at 1-1 in this great soccer match here we have at Tom Nick Stadium. How you feeling, James, after that first half?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I think the brothers are able to pull this out. So far, the scoring has been there with Nick Petrangelo with the first goal for Christian Brothers, and then Kamen for MUS with a nice goal. And so now with 1-1, and both teams have been playing good defense. I think it's going to come down to the wire, but I like what I'm seeing from Christian Brothers so far.
Yeah, they had a defensive lapse there at the end of the first half, but that was more of the banged-up goalie. Couldn't really move, couldn't really get to the ball as much as he probably wanted to. So I think if we tighten up the defense a little more, play a consistent whole good period of defense, that will win this game.
I completely agree. And with just great attacking, I think will really help the brothers in the long run. Now also going on at CBHS, the baseball team is playing MUS right next door, really. And right now MUS is up against CBHS 1-0.
Yep. This is the regional title series with MUS, so it's a pretty important game. I'd like to see baseball win. Baseball's had a great season so far, being led by Tyler Lawrence, Chris Carrier, and Brandon Wilhelm.
And then the junior duo of John Wesley Ray and Corey Herndon that have really been stars for the baseball team since they came on to the scene as a freshman.
I was really surprised by Corey Herndon when we watched him play. He had, I think it was 13 or 14 strikeouts in that first baseball
18
game.
18 strikeouts. I kept the stats.
Yeah, it was fantastic pitching performance, and he really wowed me. It was fantastic.
And he's verbally committed to Arkansas for to play college baseball, so that's really great. For Corey and for the University of Arkansas to get a really good pitcher who also has a pretty good bat, as MUS is now taking the field for the second half of soccer. And so, Jonah, before this game gets going again, what does Christian Brothers need to do to make sure that they can, one, get back into the lead and then be able to hold on to it to win?
Well, I think attacking more on offense would help and not trying to take shots too far outside the box, trying to work it around, get better shots. I mean, the Petrangelo shot was great, but I don't think we should try that again. It was a low percentage shot. Try and get more into the box, maybe near the box before we start taking shots again, and also play consistent whole half of defense.
I completely agree. Petrangelo's shot was great, but it was all the way back at like the 25-yard line. If you're looking at the field, it's still got the football lines on there. So it was very deep and far, but great shot. And I think they need to get some crosses worked in there maybe, and just a lot of other things just really just to really help spark the team and be able to get some goals quick. Before we start this game, I'd like to point out that there's a few former soccer players here. The headliner, I would say, is Chris Gardia, who's playing for University of Memphis as we start this game. Petrangelo is in the house, and he's helping support his former team. It's always good to see a former teammate of yours come support. As now this game is back underway. There's Cancelo kicking it back, and Cocker has it. Cocker been hustling very well this game so far.
Yeah, he's one of the best players on the soccer team. I mean, really good defender. I'm still looking for him to maybe score a little bit, as we have a MUS player seems to be limping around a little bit. What I find interesting is if you can't argue against Coach Lima being loud. I mean, we can hear him all the way up here in the press box.
No, I mean, that's a good thing, though, for soccer, because you've got that huge span of the field that you have to be able to cover. And, I mean, who doesn't love a really into-it coach? I mean, look at Bob Knight, for instance. Everyone loves him.
Yeah, Coach Lima's he's a great coach. He's really animated down there. I saw him earlier this game giving a little demonstration to the ref about how to throw in the ball.
I mean, you gotta love someone who's very passionate about what he does.
Absolutely. He did. I know for a fact he spent this whole week preparing for this MUS game. He's been really into it. Really wants to win this rivalry game after tying the first one, since it's such a big part of the school. I mean, there's a lot of people here at the soccer game, also at that baseball game down there that we're playing MUS in.
I mean, I think that this game is really, really important to Coach Lima for many different reasons. Another really big reason that he really wants to win this is because if I've mentioned this earlier, but in case some of you viewers are a little bit later, if CBHS wins this game, they get the first round seed in the state playoffs, and then if they lose, then MUS gets the first round for the first seed in the playoffs.
Yep, and we could be seeing MUS again in the playoffs. So it's good to be familiar with this opponent, and just winning this game could help build confidence for the next maybe matchup.
And I also want to point out that CBH has not lost a soccer match this entire year. They are 11-0 in the win-loss column, but they have gotten 3 draws. One was against MUS. So really big stakes here for Christian Brothers to see if they can keep up an undefeated season.
Yeah, it's really impressive to go undefeated, and I bet Coach Lima would be really happy with that. They do have the 3 draws, but that's still showing your resilience. Probably, I think in 2 of those games they were losing, and they were able to come back near the end and tie it up.
Completely agree, and you gotta really admire anybody, even if you like them or dislike them, a team that really hasn't lost anything.
Yeah,
and they've got and another thing that you really have to worry about is the teams you're playing. They're like, hey, this team hasn't lost any games. We need to be able to beat this team. So Christian Brothers, no matter who they're playing, is going to get their best every single night.
Absolutely.
Whitley throws it in. It was a good throw in, and Dyer kicks it back out. And you know what? And give MUS a little props here. They are very fast.
Yes, they are.
They have a lot of really fast players, and led by 2 freshmen who are both extremely quick.
Yes, we contained them in the most of the first period until about 5 minutes left when they scored that goal. Now we seem to be doing a little bit more. I think being so quick, they tire our defense out eventually, which is probably what they're trying to do.
CBHS really been playing extremely well, and over the baseball field, I heard a really big crack, and CBHS is batting. So hopefully, something really, really good just happened for the baseball team too, because I'm wearing a headset and I could hear that ball in the bat.
Yeah, I hope our baseball team and our soccer team are 2 of the best teams we have here at Christian Brothers, and they don't get as much exposure as you'd like the 2-2. Especially soccer here. Oh, as Greg Dyer just puts one right over the goal. That was a perfect opportunity to score, and he just sailed it right through the crossbars of the field goal.
Man, that was a great shot, and Greg Dyer just couldn't barely keep it underneath. But yeah, that was a great. That's still very good by Dyer to make sure we can keep it up, as Cocker has a great kick. You know, during this entire school year, I've heard of what a great scorer Kenneth Cocker is. And right now he's playing a lot of defense, and I'm very impressed on what I'm seeing from him on the defensive side of the ball.
He's really working hard on the defensive end, showing his versatility that he can play offense and defense and be impactful on both.
That's why he's going to Memphis.
That's how you get a scholarship right there.
Fuentes kicks it back out to Petrangelo. Petrangelo is also an extremely hard worker.
Petrangelo has been awesome this game and really impressed me. I've heard him talk about soccer before. I didn't really know he played that much, but I didn't know he was on varsity as a junior, which is impressive.
He was on varsity as a sophomore. He started last year, which is even more impressive.
That is really impressive, and he deserves to play. If we're giving a player of the game out for the brothers right now, that it's absolutely him.
He definitely gets player of the first half. I don't see how you can make an argument for anyone else besides Nick Petrangelo with the way he's been playing. Also talk about right now is there is just a penalty being called, so now there'll be a free kick for MUS. As I said earlier, the JV team won against MUS earlier, 2-1. Goals scored by Zach Guzzo early in the first half, and then by Connor Bradshaw later on in the second half. So that's always good to have your JV win before the varsity takes the field. And even though the JV team doesn't get as much recognition, it's still great to see CBHS win really against MUS in general.
It's nice to see them play well and see the underclassmen, mostly underclassmen, succeed against other teams. The JV baseball made it to the JV finals, but lost to Houston. Also, another impressive team that we have here at CBHS.
We got a really good teams for our school, and just a little something that my history teacher told me earlier this year that Christian Brothers High School, just the school in general, has one of the best win-loss percentages as a whole for all sports. Every single sport we play, except for maybe one or two, all have winning records, and we're one of the top in the nation with how great our win percentage is. So that's always something that's always good for last year, and all I've heard this year from lots of sports is how well they've been doing. So I assume we'll be right back up there again this coming year.
I'd like to see. I've had only a few state championships here in my time here at Christian Brothers High School. Now that I'm leaving, I'd like to see the soccer or baseball team take one home.
I think they both have a really good shot of it. And lately, CBHS baseball was just ranked number 7 in the South Division on MaxPreps.com, and outfielder Roman Novaris is the face of the the news article about how CBHS has really shown how strong they are so far this year in baseball.
I don't think it's fair to put a Facebook on the team since they're all playing so great, but Roman Novaris has been playing so very well, along with Chris Carrier, Tyler Lawrence, who's going to who's gotten a scholarship to Murray State University, Casey Goodwin, who's going to CBU, John Wesley Ray, who's going to Ole Miss, and Herndon.
John Wesley's a junior, so he's verbally committed. He's not yet signed. We gotta make sure we state that because we don't want to give anyone,
Yeah. And Herndon,
because he can still change his mind.
Yep, Herndon, who's verbally committed to Arkansas.
And it's very impressive. The SEC, everyone knows the SEC for football. They're a great baseball. They're a great baseball program. Also, I know that South Carolina's won the College World Series last 3 years in a row, and there's always I think Arkansas is in top 5 right now, and Vanderbilt's always up there too. So also a great school for great conference for baseball.
It's going to be nice to see some brothers represented in a few years there in baseball.
And right now in soccer, CBHS is playing extremely well as Nick Matthews falls on the ball and is able to keep it for Christian Brothers.
Seem to be having trouble getting the ball on the offensive end and getting another scoring opportunity. Our last shot was that Greg Dyer goal. Just probably need to slow it down a little bit and try and get it back into the offensive zone.
The last year CBHS has won a state championship game was 4 years ago, the year before I came, your freshman year. They won the state championship. I believe that's 2009. And it was a great showing there. 2010, excuse me. It was a great showing for Christian Brothers that season. It was led by a lot of seniors, and also Chris Gardia, who is here and is playing right now at Memphis, which is really becoming a strong soccer school, both women's and men's. So this soccer team is starting to really impress a lot of people.
Absolutely.
They were projected to win state these last 2 years, but they fell in the state championships both times. And it's going to be tough for them to bounce back from that. But, I mean, they've been playing extremely well this year, not lost any matches. Hopefully they'll be able to bring this state title for them right now.
And it looks like we have a sub, and Alex Fuentes, who has been playing very well on the offensive end with his passing skills, trying to initiate some offense, will be coming out.
And now there's a penalty. Push off by Nick Petrangelo. Fuentes has played very well this game. You know, he's been hustling a lot, and he's been making sure to distribute, and he did very well on a few corner kicks. So good showing there by Fuentes, and hopefully CBHS will be able to get the lead without him now.
In other news around the school, Jake McDowell from the basketball team, I'm pretty sure will be walking on at the University of Memphis next season to play basketball, which is an impressive feat.
You know, his father, Hank McDowell, played for Memphis back when he was in college before he was drafted into the NBA. So McDowell's all very good at basketball, and it's always great to see a brother's boy representing a Division I school.
That's the second brother's boy that will be represented under Coach Josh Passner, the other being Drew Barham, who now plays at Gonzaga. But it's nice to see the brothers being represented the last few years here as, he just took a shot saving that.
Nick Matthews is down.
Man, he's just been going all out. He has no regard for his own safety these last two periods.
Nick Matthews has been playing his heart out this game. You have to really appreciate the type of heart that Nick is really showing.
And he's shaking it off.
That's really impressive that he's able to shake that off. That looked really rough. As Baker tries to keep it up, but now McKeever kicks the ball back down. Now Bobby Scott brings it back out for MUS.
For anybody that doesn't know, graduation. I will be graduating this Saturday. This could possibly be my last game here at Christian Brothers Sports Network. It's been fun having James next to me all season, or this whole year, along with me. And you got anything to say to me, James?
I'm gonna miss you a lot. I know that for sure. You're definitely one of the biggest parts of our program. As Kenneth Cocker played a great defense down there to stop a MUS shot on goal.
Who knows? I could be back next year to do a game.
I love it. I love it if you could be. Like a few guys who did it last year, like Browning Stubbs and Alex Finke were back for a few football games, and they tried to do a few basketball games. So you're keeping the tradition alive of you visiting the underclassmen.
I'd like to get a win in my last game, but the brothers have stalled on offense the last few times down. They have trouble getting into the zone. They are playing some fantastic defense, but as MUS is also playing some great defense out there, stopping the ball whenever they can and turning it over.
Kenneth Cocker has been playing extremely well, and when we said that Alex Fuentes has come out, the person substituting in for him, his name is Julian Rainey. He's a freshman, so freshman getting some big experience here against a very tough MUS Owls team.
And
as Barrett can't quite handle it.
He was pulling off some nice moves, but he had two defenders on him. He could have passed out, but he tried to take it on himself a little bit too much there. It was a nice try, though.
CBHS is doing a really great job as Barrett now controls it again. He gets it up to Rainey, but who can't quite hold on to it, and it appears that Bobby Starks is falling down. He hit his head a little bit, but he seems to be okay, so that's good.
And the baseball team is still down 1-0 in the bottom of the third inning.
Hopefully they'll be able to bounce back. Petrangelo attempted a shot, but that was blocked off by MUS. A good punt downfield now for MUS as DiPietro tries to hit it. McKeever has it. He gets it back out to Barrett. Barrett's been playing very well after he came in for Barrett Mills, and we still have not gotten word on Barrett Mills' injury, so I hope he won't be hurt too much. I hope he'll be back for the state playoffs, no matter if we're first or second seed.
I see him down there on the bench, and hope he's okay. We don't want any injuries out here.
He seems to be gripping his right leg a little bit. He's definitely favoring his left. His right's outstretched. So I hope that Barrett will be able to be okay. As Jake Barrett gives it up to Julian Poloni, the freshman who just came in. He's playing very well for in substitution for Alex Fuentes. The MUS now brings it back out. Swift has it. That was a good save there by Montgomery. And now Cocker has it downfield. Kenneth Cocker has really surprised me with his defensive play. No, I know he's definitely the best player for the CBHS. I mean, everybody on the team would admit it. He's a fantastic player, but I didn't know that he could be this versatile and play so many different positions.
He is the leader of this team on offense and defense. Now that we see that out here, he's probably the most versatile player on the team out there. Him and Nick Petrangelo are out there playing offense and defense for the brothers and playing them both very well.
And the people that and the players that have come in for CBHS have also been doing a very good job of maintaining a good style of play. As Greg Dyer now has it, and he's trying to make something happen, and he gives it back up to Kinsella. Kinsella is sophomore, and he's getting a lot of great playing time. So there's a lot of underclassmen who are getting a ton of playing time for the CBHS team, and all of them have been playing extremely well.
We are a very deep team.
And I hope that this will only mean good things to come for this program later. And CBHS has always been known for their soccer play. If you're a soccer player, you want to go to Christian Brothers or MUS. MUS is also very strong. So, I mean, it's been great shots. There's a shot on goal, and Nick Matthews just stops it. But that is scored. But MUS ends up scoring. That is Norris Fox, who is going to Navy on a basketball scholarship, able to show how good his footwork is, and is able to score the goal for MUS as MUS now goes up 2-1 here with 21 minutes to go in this second half.
Yeah, looked like it was deflected off Matthews, and he just couldn't quite reel it back in, and Fox just came in for the rebound.
It's hard to defend against that if you're Nick Matthews, as Greg Dyer now comes out of the game for Christian Brothers. CBHS now needs to get a goal here to be able to bring it back. There's Montgomery trying to get it back out. Great defense being shown right now for CBHS.
They just need to get back on the offensive end, which has been a struggle this half. They're giving MUS many opportunities to stay in this game and get the lead.
Rainey been playing very well after he came in for Fuentes. As there's now a fast start, but great save by Nick Petrangelo. Petrangelo with a great save. Excuse me, Nick Matthews. I'm sorry.
Keep getting your Knicks mixed up.
Yeah, there are way too many Knicks in my class. I know of 5 Knicks in my class on the top of my head.
That's way too many. Oh, and that was a great through ball there. MUS just couldn't get their feet on it.
And there's Rainey trying to get in there. Rainey playing very well coming off the bench for this brothers team. And the person who subbed in for Greg Dyer is Rory Harrison. He is a sophomore, so he will now make a great appearance here for Christian Brothers. 19 minutes to go in this soccer match. Joe, in your opinion, what does CBHS really need to do in order to get this lead back before it really gets down to the wire here at Tom Nick Stadium?
Well, a start would be we just need to get it down on offense, which we're doing a very good job of right now, and execute, which we're having a lot of trouble on. Our last shot on goal was the one Greg Dyer sailed over the goal, and MUS has really tightened up on their defense, and they're having trouble getting it down to the other side of the field.
It appears that an MUS player has just been yellow carded. It appears that he's definitely just been yellow carded. That player for MUS is number 10, Will Kalen, who scored the first goal for MUS to start, but right before the first half ended.
He seems to have a lot to say still to the ref. Disagreed with that. I think he just needs to get over it and keep playing.
Best thing to do whenever you're whenever there's a call penalty like that is just to say, oh, well, it's part of the game, and just move on instead of trying to argue with the ref.
They got him a yellow card.
The free kick right now will be Pietro. As that was deep. It was attempted to get by Barrett, but is saved out by Jacobs, but it is out of bounds. It was attempted to be saved by Michael Baker, but it could not be corralled. Ashton Clark was the one trying to save that, but it will still be Christian Brothers' ball now.
There is 17 minutes left in this soccer match as the brothers are trying to come back. Oh!
And that shot was just over the shot. That shot was attempted by Polonia.
It was a great opportunity there. A great throw in as the ball was shuffled around a little bit, and a nice shot on goal that just barely sailed over the goal. It's two straight now that the brothers have had good shots at, but just couldn't get it in the goal.
They're really going to need to convert with 16 minutes left. That's not much time for soccer. They're really going to need to bounce back and really need to score quickly, especially if they want to at least push this to a draw. Because tie or draw, they get the first seed, and first seed is very coveted when you're going in a state playoff game. That will still be MUS ball, all playing extremely well.
We are sorry about the technical difficulties we are experiencing with our scoreboard online. We're doing our best to correct that, as now we did. We're sorry about that, and we try and prevent it in the future.
Trangelo with a great kick out, as that is now corralled by Fox. Gets it up. It appears that Fuentes will try to come back in, but DiPietro was kicked, but there was no stoppage of play. So Kinsella now has it again. Been very physical out there. Most physical I've ever seen for a soccer match. Both these teams really want to win. Petrangelo has it. Petrangelo has been the main spark of this game so far. So there's a nice cross.
Oh!
There's a nice goal.
Oh!
What a fantastic goal by Jake Barrett.
A diving header.
That was fantastic.
That was a great, great, great goal there for the brothers.
The MUS side is silent after that fantastic goal.
That was such a great, great cross and then a great diving header.
Jake Barrett, the sophomore, wasn't even supposed to play until Barrett Mills got injured. He came in, has really been playing extremely well as he ties this game up 2-2 with under 15 minutes to go in this soccer match. Wow.
That was great.
I think when we make a top 10 video for the end of for the whole sports year, that'll more than likely be on it.
That'll be up there.
That was fantastic. The MUS side is just stunned by how that fantastic that goal was. No one thought that, of all people, Jake Barrett be the one to score the tying goal against them. Nothing against him. He was just, a sophomore who wasn't supposed to be able to play today, and he's been really showing what he can do.
And Barrett seems to be shaking up, holding his knee on that play.
Well, Well, he knows one thing though. No matter what, he's definitely going to be getting a lot more playing time down these next few years with Christian Brothers. What a fantastic goal!
I think we have 2 top 10 plays now. The Petrangelo goal, and now that Rainey goal could be up there with number 1, along with, I don't know what our top 10 will be yet.
Probably Breck Ruddock's 75-yard touchdown QB keeper.
That one game where Josh Brewer hit his 35-point game, that'll be up there.
That was crazy. We were able to record Josh Brewer dunking against SBEC, and and that was almost a good shot on goal. It was just wide right. So now CBHS is able to get back downfield more, because it seems like after that goal, the MUS fans and team look a little deflated. That was just a heartbreaker after such a great goal earlier by Norse Fox.
I think finally getting the ball back on the offensive end really helped. Actually, that was the first time we'd gotten it on the offensive end. I think the brothers were just afraid to mess up. They were playing a lot of defense, so they're getting a little tired up there, and they're having trouble getting it down on offense and getting shots on goal.
I mean, this has been a fantastic showing, as there's now an MUS player who's a little shaken up. You never like to see that. Even if it is your arch rival, you never want anybody to get hurt.
I think if we do a not top 10, we could have maybe a few soccer highlights on there. Maybe when Josh Brewer tried to dunk on
Khalifa and Daye.
That was a terrible idea.
When you're going up against a guy who's probably 6'9", would you agree that Ndaye is probably around that height? It's going to be pretty hard to dunk on him.
It was a poor decision. I think even Josh Brewer has admitted that. But it was a nice try. But it would definitely make that not top 10 if we decide to do it.
Now there's another news around Christian Brothers. The baseball team is still trailing the MUS baseball team 1-0 at the top of the 4th inning. In 7 innings in high school baseball, so there's still plenty of time to come back for Christian Brothers. One thing I love about baseball is that you're never truly out of it, because there's no clock.
No, and baseball, it's just an easy game to stay into. High school baseball, I really love doing those games. That was much more exciting than watching a game on TV or going to like a pro game. It's just the pace is quicker. It's much more enjoyable. Maybe it's because I know a lot of the players and the fans were really excited when they were at the games and hyped up.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the reasons why high school games are so popular to go to, and even if you're not a fan of, I don't know, say football, if you're not a fan of football or soccer or something like that, you know the people who are playing, it makes it a lot more enjoyable. You want your friends to do well, like how a lot of our friends right now are doing very well for the soccer team currently. Petrangelo for one, Cocker, all the guys really, they've been playing very well. And then, I kind of want to get to know Jake Baird a little bit better now after that amazing goal.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Now is just under 10 minutes to go in this soccer match.
I think the turnout for this game would have been a little better. We have a lot of students lining up against the fence to watch this game. Probably would have been a little better if the baseball team hadn't been playing this really important game at the exact same time. But the fans like coming out and watching us compete against MUS, so it's always nice.
I was told that the baseball team and the soccer team are good good friends, where both the coaches make sure that the teams make sure to root everybody on with one another, and to really see if they can get a lot more people to go to each one of their games.
There's a general camaraderie between all of the teams here at Christian Brothers. Like when the wrestling team came to watch the bowling team, or when the football team comes on and roots for the basketball team. It's just it's nice to have here at, during the sporting events.
In case you don't know, the wrestling team won state this year for both individual and duels wrestling. That's always great. And another thing is, wrestling really wanted a lot more people to come as DPHO got a great steal, and then North Fox is another great steal for MUS. The wrestling team really wanted more people to come to their things, so they went to hockey. They went to a hockey match. They went to a bowling match, and I think they definitely went to basketball and football games. So really I know the bowling team went to two of their matches, and then the hockey team went to one of their matches. So I think that's great for if all the teams start going to each other's things. So that way you always have some crowd there and some fans to be able to get everybody cheered up. And that's what appears is going on right now at this soccer match too.
Wrestling was kind of looked over before these last 2 years. They've had some great wrestlers here, like the Balky brothers and the Johnsons, and now Caleb Baker, who's leaving to go wrestle at Arizona State. Had some great wrestlers. Never have they had this much success in one season. Been the first to win, first West Tennessee school to win this the duals championship. Very impressive season from Coach Lewis, and I really hope next year they have a great turnout in every one of their matches.
Petrangelo kicks it deep downfield. This has been a very exciting soccer match too. Like there's been lots of great defense, and anybody can appreciate great defense. More people appreciate offense, but if you really think about it, defense is much tougher.
Defense wins games, and every single sport, defense will win you games.
That's right, and I think that they're playing great defense right now. As Fuentes is able to steal it from Montgomery, and Fuentes is now working on Baker, who gives it to Petrangelo. Petrangelo now tries to get it up past to DiPietro, but he was just out oversailed him.
He had a nice angle, but he got knocked from behind a little bit, causing his pass to go off a little bit to the right.
DiPietro has also been playing very well this game too. He's been quietly doing a lot of really good things that don't really appear on your stat sheet, like just been able to get good passes to other people, and is really able to get into it with other players for against MUS, and he's been playing very well this entire match. Another person we need to talk about is Hayden Whitley, the freshman, who's been playing, who started every single match for CBHS on defense. As Jake Barrett just now comes right back in for CBHS. And you gotta admire the freshman able to start every single game for CBHS.
Yeah,
this really tough.
It's hard
school.
to get recognition as a freshman. You have to be really good here at Christian Brothers to have recognition as a freshman to start on varsity. So it's really impressive when one comes out and shows that they're ready to play. Like when Ramadi Warren came out and as a freshman and played a little bit during his first football season here. Always know you have something special on your hands when juniors or a freshman is starting on the varsity squad.
Yeah, and that's just something that a coach can just love, because if you got someone starting up there, then you know that all they're going to do is blossom as they get up to it. And when the people who are better than them graduate, then all of a sudden those kind of guys while they're juniors or seniors are the main guy for your team, and they've had so much experience. It works great for CBHS in the long run. Like for soccer, Barrett Mills and Andrew McKeever both played varsity as freshmen. So that's great. So that's great recognition for them too, and both of them have become great leaders for this team. Now MUS has also been playing extremely well this match.
Absolutely, give credit to them. They've stopped many good offensive runs by the brothers and caused them to stay out of the offensive zone.
As DiPietro looked like he's wound up for a shot. Good save by the MUS goalkeeper.
Fuentes had a fantastic through ball there to the DiPietro, and to set up that nice opportunity.
And get up to Petrangelo, who then gives it up to Polonia. He's back up to Petrangelo. Petrangelo is hit out from Bobby Stark, as they are now it appears that Ryan Anderson is checked in, and he is now playing for Christian Brothers.
There is 4 minutes left in this soccer match. Tightly contested.
Right now it stands at a 2-2 draw. Both teams have been playing very well. Both teams obviously really want this win. Kinsella will now throw it in. A good header there by Starks to kick it out. Now Kinsella will go back to throw it in. The sophomores have also been playing very well for Christian Brothers, the ones that have been able to come in and make a contribution, like Kinsella and Barrett and all the guys who have really been doing.
This is a really deep soccer team, and I think this is why we have a chance to really make waves this year and maybe go for it all and win a state championship. This is the deepest soccer team I've seen in my time here.
And it's really deep. Like in high school, you're allowed to sub in and sub out, where in the pro level, if you're out, you're out, and you can't come back in, kind of like just like in baseball.
We've had about 4 subs come in and out.
And they've all played very well for when they've been in or out. Jake Barrett now trying to steal the ball from Fox, but Fox gets it back out to Jacobs. Jacobs also been playing good D. And now there's a good kick out by Starks, and that's a goal for MUS.
Man. That was a great pass and great job heading it in there.
MUS scores a great goal.
There's now 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game.
That was probably the perfect time to score a goal to go up by 1.
The Brothers need a quick goal here to even it up.
Yeah, you have to score here because you only have a little more than a minute now. So CBHS is really going to step it up. McKeever kicks it deep. Now Baker has it. Good hustle there by Polonia, but it is still out all the way back to the defensive side as McKeever now has it.
And
Polonia is hurt on the other side after a great kickback. And Michael Baker for MUS is hobbling, so he will come off the field for MUS after he's been playing a very well game. Person who scored that goal was number 8, Marshall Clark for MUS. So give him some recognition. He scored a great goal. So good job to Marshall Clark. He's a senior. I'm sure he's relishing scoring a goal against Christian Brothers his senior year. And now Sebastian Maines will now check in for Christian Brothers.
The Brothers need some offense quickly here. They only have 2 minutes left in this game, and it can take away really quickly if you don't get something done.
Maines checks in for the injured Polonia, as now Kenneth Cocker moves to the offensive side. So now your best scorer is now no longer playing defense, is now on offense. As Cocker has it. Cocker kicks it all the way to Whitley. Whitley kicks it deep, down. We got numbers, and it is hit off like the goalkeeper for MUS. Hit with his hand, and it hit Jake Barrett in the head. So it will now be MUS ball. Great heads-up play by the MUS goalkeeper to have the recognition to hit it off a CBHS player's head and go out of bounds, so it will still be MUS ball.
That was some great soccer IQ there. Just to know that this could potentially end the game.
As McKeever plays good defense and is able to stop Swift from scoring, as it is now deep downfield, trying to get Fuentes. Fuentes has it. It's kicked out of bounds, and it will still be CBHS ball. The MUS side is livid that there was not a penalty called on McKeever. And more subs coming in. Montgomery now checks back in for Scott, Bobby Scott. Bobby Scott played a very good game. As Cocker tried to get it, but now is back out. McKeever will now try to hold on to it. There's just a few Just a little over a minute now remaining in this soccer match. McKeever kicks it deep. Oh, and it's hit it up,
and
it scores a goal.
Oh,
An MUS
no.
player scored a goal, put the ball in his own goal. It is now 3-3, and he can't believe it.
Oh, they're upset. They just can't believe it.
That goal will be credited to Sebastian Polonia because he was the closest person to the MUS player who hit that ball into MUS's own goal. So just like that, this is a tied ball. This is a tied match once again.
That was so lucky. That was a little lucky on our part.
And I believe, and right now the MUS players are arguing a little with the referee.
That was a little break there.
That was just the break Christian Brothers needed. MUS now sets it up. Swift has it. Just like that, it's a tie ball game now. And now there's a penalty called on MUS.
And that will be a red
card. That is it.
He will be out of the game.
He was given a red card. Number 4, Jack Skahan, who's a freshman. I'm happy that CBHS is tied up with MUS, but you gotta feel terrible for the.
I feel terrible for kick that in. I can't imagine doing that.
I just feel awful for him. I hope that he'll be able to bounce back from this later. That's from the person from MUS who hit that in was Forrest Field, and he's a senior.
Oh man, I feel so bad for him right now. But you can't be arguing with the refs. I mean, leave it alone. That wasn't their fault that happened. I mean, you can't be getting red cards. Brothers had 2 fortunate breaks, the kicking in the own goal and the red card. But
I mean, there's just above a minute to go in this game with extra time, and CBHS just needs to hold on. As it is MUS ball. There's a red card. MUS will still have the ball. MUS Christian Brothers playing. Play some tight D. Kick up. It is saved. It's kicked back out.
That was a great defense there.
Headed out by Cocker. That great outlet kick as it goes out of bounds over to the MUS fans.
They're in a little danger area there.
Montgomery has it as DiPietro kicks it out.
Looks like the Brothers are just trying to clear the ball away from their defensive end, try and run out some clock.
I think right now the Brothers are just trying to maintain the draw as Cocker makes a smart decision just to kick it out of bounds. He doesn't want to try to let Nick Matthews get too far out of goal. Smart decision by Kenneth Cocker there. Just thrown in. And great header out by Nick Petrangelo to be able to keep this, get the ball out. As Petrangelo, after he heads it, he knocks down Jack Montgomery.
A little tension there between 2 MUS players, and Petrangelo, as MUS, will be given another yellow card for the confrontation with Petrangelo, telling him to calm down. That is the third yellow card MUS has received on the night.
They have 3 yellows, 1 red.
I really enjoyed watching Petrangelo play soccer. He did not know he was.
That's physical, or just
He's got such a calm disposition when in class. He's a very nice guy. He's been fiery out there on the pitch today.
and he comes out, but he earns a well-earned rest as Petrangelo will stay close to the scores table.
Looks like he's going right back in.
They just wanted to sit him for just a little bit, I guess, just to have him calm down as Cocker kicks it out.
There's like, oh
There's,
no. These two teams, the refs need to calm these two teams down.
And there is now some discussion between what is going on. I'm not gonna say who, but there was a tiny scuffle on the field between one MUS player and one Christian Brothers player. I'll not give out names because I don't want to promote any people for really being idiots and trying to wrestle on the soccer pitch.
As much as I'd like to say that was started by MUS, that looked like a mutual thing there. I don't think the refs saw it. There's nothing been called. So the refs really need to get control of this game before something gets out of hand. We don't want anything bad happening between two players.
No, this last thing.
Looks like they'll take out Sebastian Maines.
And now Nick Petrangelo comes back in. And now, a second ago, we heard a fan yell. That's the longest 2 minutes ever.
There has been
It shows 2 minutes on the clock for when there's extra time.
And it looks like it's going to be a smart decision. The refs will end this game before something bad happens. And you can tell there's some devastated MUS players.
As it appears that this game will end in a draw.
Yep.
Between MUS and Christian Brothers. Goals being scored for Christian Brothers were Nick Petrangelo, Jake Barrett, and 1 goal credited to Sebastian Paulolia, even though it was an MUS player who headed it in for Christian Brothers.
Well, that was a very physical matchup.
Very physical, very entertaining.
Entertaining, a little scary there for a minute that something bad was going to happen, but we're glad it's over. Glad nobody got hurt. Well, got hurt, and glad cooler heads prevailed in the end. And it was a great job getting the 1 seed by the soccer team. Great overall performance, and I think that's it.
I mean, I think so too. My name's James Cronin. He's Jonah Jordan. We may or may not bring a playoff game. We're not sure.
We're not quite sure yet, but if this is my last game here, it's been fun. It's been great bringing these games to the fans, and thank you, James, for being alongside me most of the season.
No problem. Happy to do it. And sign off for Christian Post Sports Network. I'm James Cronin. He's Jenna Jordan. Good night, and go Brothers.